Vladimir Bartol's masterpiece, Alamut, is rich of nihilism. This nihilism also exists in Assassin's Creed, while on a literary level we may encounter it in Dostoevsky's novels Demons, 1873, and The Brothers Karamazov, 1880. In the first novel, the character Kirillov, a revolutionary, commits suicide to demonstrate the absolute non-existence of God and his status as a God-man, his absolute freedom. While, if there is no God, anything is permitted, is the conclusion reached in Brothers Karamazov. During his lifetime, Bartol was not recognized neither by the general public nor by his contemporaries in literature. According to Arnaldo Bressan, an Italian writer, after the second edition of Alamut, the novel and the author disappeared together, one from the book's circulation, the other from the literary life, relegated to positions and occupations as decorous as insignificant until the day of his death in 1967, when he was just 64 years old. At the end of the 80s, he was rediscovered and defined as forerunner of the new contemporary Slovenian literature. In short, the Alamut could only take flight after the death of Tito, who was too astute not to see how much of himself and his power was involuntarily anticipated and unmasked in the policies of Ḥasan-i Ṣabbāh. Nowadays, in Trieste, Italy, there is a school named after Vladimir Bartol. It is located in the San Giovanni district, where the author was born. The interest for Alamut increased considerably following the attacks of 11 September 2001. It is no coincidence that the English translation did not arrive until 2004. Many critics compared the assassins indoctrinated in the sect and driven to kill in the name of religion to the Taliban. Assassin's Creed was released in 2007, so it can be safely deducted that it was produced just when Alamut was a publishing phenomenon. Initially, the video game was supposed to be a Prince of Persia title, therefore set in an Arab content. In that period, the game designer Patrice Deslay read Alamut and, fascinated, decided to create the title Prince of Persia, Assassins, which later became Assassin's Creed. The video game was supposed to be inspired by the life of Ḥasan-i Ṣabbāh in the book. Deslay was fascinated by the parkour scenes presented in the assassin training sessions found in the novel, or from the scene in which Tahir, Vladimir Bartol's protagonist, must disguise himself and go unnoticed to kill his target with a hidden and poisoned blade, or when Yusuf, Tahir's best friend, jumps from the tower. He put all this into the video game. This is where the famous leap of faith comes from, which with its arm wide open resembles an eagle launching itself from the slope. It's strange to say, but if the attacks of 11 September 2001 had never occurred, Assassin's Creed would never have been released, or at least it would have been different from how we know it. Finally, did the gardens of Ḥasan-i Ṣabbāh, to which the young men were taken after being put to sleep under the influence of hashish, ever exist? In 2005, Peter Willey, an archaeologist who worked for the British Museum, published evidence suggesting that this Mali understanding of paradise is deeply symbolic. Although the Quranic description of paradise includes natural images, Willey argues that no Nizari Fidai would seriously believe that they had witnessed paradise simply by awaking in a beautiful garden. Furthermore, Willey points out that Juwayni, the courtier of the great Khan Monke, inspected Alamus castle shortly before the Mongol invasion. In Juwayni's reports on the fortress, there are elaborate descriptions of sophisticated warehouses and the famous library of Alamut. However, even this anti-Ismaili observer makes no mention of the four gardens in the Alamus ground, having destroyed a number of texts from the library collection deemed heretical by Giovanni. One would expect that he would have paid close attention to the Inzari gardens, particularly if they were the site of drug use and temptation. Since Giovanni makes no mention of such gardens, Willie concludes that there is no concrete evidence that the gardens are anything more than legends. If you are curious to know where the idea of the Animus comes from, you have to read the 7th volume of X, a 1994 Dark Horse comic, in which Lord Alamut inserted his assassins into the anima. It is a device that reproduces Paradise, very similar in appearance to the Animus from Assassin's Creed. Read the article on my blog, gabriel.wordpress.com.